In 2001, Volkswagen's chairman stood in front of his engineering team and gave them an order that made absolutely no financial sense. Build the fastest, most powerful production car the world has ever seen. A car so extreme, it would redefine what a road car could even be. And here's the part that makes this story almost unbelievable. Before they had built a single one, the math already showed they would lose millions of dollars on every single unit sold. Not might lose money, not could end up over budget. They knew. The numbers were already on the table, and they built it anyway. This is the story of the Bugatti Veyron. And before we get into exactly how a company loses millions per sale on purpose, hit that subscribe button now, because the numbers coming up are going to make your head spin. While you're at it, drop a comment telling me what you think the final loss per car actually was. I guarantee you'll be way off. To understand how this happened, you need to understand one man, Ferdinand Piëch. Piëch was the chairman of Volkswagen Group, and he came from automotive royalty in the most literal sense. His grandfather was Ferdinand Porsche, the man who designed the original Volkswagen Beetle and founded Porsche itself. Engineering obsession wasn't just in Piëch's career, it was, quite literally, in his blood. In 1998, Volkswagen acquired the rights to the Bugatti name, a brand that had essentially been dormant since the 1950s, after its founder, Ettore Bugatti's death. Piëch saw an opportunity, not to build just another luxury car, but to prove something to the entire automotive industry, that Volkswagen Group could build the single greatest car on earth, regardless of what it cost to make it happen. The brief Piëch gave his engineers was almost absurdly simple to state and almost impossible to execute. 1,000 horsepower, a top speed exceeding 250 miles per hour, and it had to remain comfortable enough to drive every single day. Air conditioning, a proper stereo, comfortable leather seats. Most hypercar manufacturers solve the speed problem by stripping everything else away. Less weight, less comfort, less practicality. That's usually the trade-off for more performance. Piëch refused to accept that trade-off existed at all. The engineering team started by sketching an 18-cylinder engine concept, something almost nobody in the automotive world had ever attempted for a road car. But as development progressed, the W18 configuration proved completely unmanageable. Too heavy, too unreliable, too complicated to produce at any reasonable scale. So they pivoted. The final design became an 8-liter W16 engine, essentially two V8 engines fused together at a 90-degree angle, fed by 4 turbochargers. It's worth pausing on how strange that engineering decision actually is. Most road car engines have 4, 6, or 8 cylinders. The Veyron's engine had 16. It needed 10 separate radiators just to keep itself from overheating. Drop a comment if you've ever even heard of a car needing 10 radiators, because most people have no idea this number is real. When the production Veyron 16.4 finally launched in 2005, nearly 6 years after development began, the specification sheet read like complete fantasy. 1,001 horsepower, a number deliberately chosen to be the first production car ever to officially break the 1,000 mark. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds. A top speed of 253 miles per hour. At that top speed, the fuel tank, holding over 100 liters, would run completely empty in approximately 12 minutes. The specially developed Michelin tires, costing tens of thousands of dollars per set, would need replacing after roughly 15 minutes of sustained top-speed driving. This was a car engineered without compromise, at any cost. And that phrase, "at any cost," is exactly where the real story begins. Here is where the numbers become almost impossible to comprehend. According to a widely cited report from Wall Street research firm Bernstein Research, total research and development costs for the Veyron reached approximately $1.62 billion. Bugatti planned to produce just 450 units total, sold at roughly $1.7 million each. Do that math for a second. If you divide $1.62 billion in development costs across only 450 cars, before even accounting for the cost of actually manufacturing each one, you get a number that simply cannot be recovered through sales. Bernstein Research calculated that Volkswagen Group lost approximately $6.24 million on every single Veyron sold. Some estimates, accounting for slightly different cost structures, put the figure closer to $6.7 million per car. Let that sink in for a moment. A car selling for $1.7 million, already an almost incomprehensible price tag for most people on Earth. And the company was still losing roughly 4 times that amount on every single sale. If you're enjoying learning numbers this insane, smash that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel keep digging up stories like this one. Volkswagen, through Bugatti, never officially confirmed these exact figures. A company spokesperson at the time called the Bernstein Research numbers not plausible. But Volkswagen also never seriously disputed the broader reality that the Veyron program, taken purely as a standalone business venture, was a financial disaster by any conventional measure. So why would one of the largest automotive companies on the planet sign off on a project they knew going in would never turn a profit? The answer lies in something that doesn't show up on a simple profit and loss statement: brand value. Before the Veyron, Bugatti was a footnote, a historical curiosity that most people outside serious car enthusiast circles had never heard of. After the Veyron, the name Bugatti became instantly synonymous with the absolute pinnacle of automotive engineering, mentioned in the same breath as Ferrari and Lamborghini, but somehow positioned even further beyond reach. And the technology developed for the Veyron didn't just disappear into one single low-volume car. Engineering knowledge from the project, particularly around turbocharging, all-wheel drive systems, and carbon fiber construction, eventually filtered down into other brands across the Volkswagen Group, including Audi, Bentley, and Porsche. Which means the technology in your everyday Volkswagen or Audi today might trace its roots in some small way back to a car designed to lose millions of dollars on purpose. Let me know in the comments if that surprises you as much as it surprised me researching this. The factory built to produce the Veyron tells its own story about the lengths Volkswagen was willing to go. A brand new production facility was constructed in Molsheim, France, the same town where Ettore Bugatti had originally founded the company back in 1909. The assembly environment had to be cleaner than a hospital operating room, specifically to prevent even microscopic imperfections in the carbon fiber components. An industrial autoclave, essentially a massive pressurized oven, capable of curing multiple car chassis simultaneously, became the literal centerpiece of the entire factory. This wasn't an assembly line in any traditional automotive sense. Each Veyron was essentially hand-built, piece by piece, by a small team of specialized technicians. If a video like this one deserves more attention from people who'd actually appreciate it, share it with a friend. That's honestly one of the biggest ways stories like this find the audience they deserve. Maintenance costs for owners only added to the Veyron's reputation as a financial black hole. even after the point of sale. A routine service could run well over $20,000. A major service, one that required pulling the engine out of the car entirely, could approach $50,000 on its own. Despite all of this, despite a price tag that put it permanently out of reach for the vast majority of people on Earth, the Veyron sold. Slowly but consistently. Over roughly a decade, all 450 units found buyers. Annual production hovered around just 40 to 45 cars per year. Demand never came close to mainstream, but it never needed to. The entire point was scarcity. The entire point was creating something that almost nobody could have. In 2010, an upgraded variant called the Veyron Supersport pushed the car's capabilities even further, eventually setting an officially verified production car speed record. There was, famously, a brief controversy when that record was challenged and temporarily stripped. Critics argued that the specific car used to set the record had a speed limiter removed that standard production versions retained. After review, the record was eventually reinstated. Even the controversies surrounding the Veyron seemed to operate on a scale most cars never reach. By the time production finally ended, Volkswagen Group's cumulative losses on the entire Veyron program were estimated by some analysts to total somewhere in the range of $2 billion. And yet, when you ask whether the Veyron was ultimately worth it for Volkswagen Group, the answer from almost everyone inside the industry is an unambiguous yes. Because here's the thing about brand value that a simple profit and loss statement will never fully capture. Today, when most people anywhere in the world hear the word Bugatti, an image forms instantly in their mind. Speed, exclusivity, engineering pushed to an almost irrational extreme. That image didn't exist before 2005. Volkswagen built it, deliberately, knowing it would cost them millions on every single car along the way. If a story like this changes how you think about what companies are actually willing to spend money on, that's exactly why subscribing matters. There's a lot more of this kind of thing coming. And seriously, drop a comment with the craziest spent money to lose money on purpose story you know from any industry. I want to see what you've got. The Veyron's successor, the Bugatti Chiron, launched years later carrying an even higher price tag, partly because it could leverage all the engineering knowledge and infrastructure the Veyron program had already paid for. In 2019, a variant of the Chiron became the first production car to officially exceed 300 miles per hour. The foundation for that achievement, the factory, the engineering expertise, the brand reputation, all of it traced directly back to a single, uncompromising decision made nearly 2 decades earlier. Build the best car in the world. Worry about the money later. There's a broader lesson buried inside this story that goes beyond cars entirely. Sometimes the most financially irrational decision a company makes turns out to be the smartest long-term investment they ever sign off on. Not because the spreadsheet says so, but because some forms of value simply can't be captured in a spreadsheet at all. Ferdinand Piëch passed away in 2019. By then, the Veyron's legacy was already cemented, not as a financial case study in failure, but as one of the defining engineering achievements of the early 21st century. A car that lost millions of dollars every single time someone bought one. And somehow, that very fact became part of the legend. So the next time someone tells you a business decision makes no financial sense whatsoever, remember the Veyron. Sometimes the math being terrible is exactly the point. Volkswagen knew, going in, that they'd lose millions on every single sale. They built it anyway. And 20 years later, almost nobody remembers it as the failure the spreadsheet said it should have been. If this story earned a comment from you, tell me which number shocked you the most: the $6 million loss per car, the 10 radiators, or the 12-minute fuel tank at top speed. And if you want more deep dives like this one, subscribing is the easiest way to make sure you don't miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.